Reason 1. Freedom to live on your own terms. When you cross the age of 65, something shifts inside you. Life begins to feel too precious to waste on unnecessary stress, meaningless arguments, or constant compromises. After decades of raising children, working hard, and perhaps living with a partner or extended family, many seniors discover that living alone brings them the freedom to live on their own terms. This isn't loneliness, it is liberation, the true meaning of freedom in old age. For most of our lives, we live according to others' schedules. We wake up to an alarm, rush to work, cook meals for the family, adjust to a spouse's needs, care for children or grandchildren, and sometimes even put aside our own health just to fulfill responsibilities. While this sacrifice has meaning and beauty, after 65, many seniors ask, "What about me?" Living alone gives you the chance to finally answer that question. You set your own rhythm. You decide when to wake up, what to eat, how to spend the afternoon, whether to watch a film, read a book, take a walk, or simply enjoy silence. It's not about selfishness, it's about self-respect. Control over your daily routine. Living with others often means compromise. Maybe your spouse wants to sleep late while you are an early riser. Maybe your adult children visit and expect meals at certain times. Maybe your grandchildren make noise when you want quiet. But when you live alone, you design your day. If you want to have breakfast at 5 a.m. and take a nap at noon, you can. If you want to spend 3 hours watching old black and white movies or gardening in peace, nobody interrupts. That autonomy is a gift to mental health. Experts in gerontology say that seniors who have control over their routines experience less anxiety, better sleep, and improved memory. Why? Because the brain thrives on stability and personal choice. Freedom in food and lifestyle choices. For decades, you may have cooked meals to please others. A husband wanted meat every day. A wife preferred light vegetarian meals. Grandkids wanted snacks. You bent and adjusted to everyone's tastes. Now, imagine living alone. You eat what nourishes you when you want it. If you want a fresh bowl of oatmeal at night, nobody complains. If you want to fast one morning and enjoy a light soup later, you can. This freedom encourages healthier habits because you are listening to your own body instead of catering to others. Nutritionists have observed that seniors living independently often make better food choices when they are health conscious compared to those who live in crowded households where junk food is present. Space for peace and reflection. Space for peace and reflection. One of the greatest treasures of living alone after 65 is silence. Silence is healing. When you live with others, noise fills the home. Conversations, arguments, TV sounds, doorbells, and constant activity. But when you live alone, you create an environment of calm. This space allows reflection. Seniors often use this time to reconnect with themselves, read spiritual texts, write journals, or simply sit in meditation. Psychologists note that reflection in later years strengthens emotional stability and even reduces the risk of depression. A real-life story. Take the example of Mrs. Clara, age 70. She spent 45 years living with her husband and children, always putting others first. After her husband passed away, her children encouraged her to move in with them. But she chose to live alone in a small apartment near the park. At first, her family worried, "Won't you be lonely?" But Clara discovered joy in her independence. She decorated her home with flowers, played music she loved, cooked light meals, and took long evening walks. She said, "For the first time in my life, I wake up and live my day exactly as I feel. I don't ask permission, I don't negotiate. This freedom makes me healthier and happier than ever." Psychological benefits of autonomy. Improved confidence. Knowing you can take care of yourself strengthens your self-worth. Reduced stress. No arguments, no compromises, no people-pleasing. Greater clarity. With time alone, you hear your own thoughts and understand your true desires. Emotional healing. Many seniors use solitude to heal from past regrets, pain, or toxic relationships. In fact, a study in the Journal of Aging Studies found that seniors who valued autonomy reported higher life satisfaction compared to those who felt dependent on family for daily decision. How to fully enjoy this freedom. Create a routine that balances health, hobbies, and rest. Redesign your living space to reflect your personality, your favorite chair, calming colors, photos of happy memories. Try new things without fear of judgment: painting, singing, learning a language, or practicing yoga. Respect your body's signals. If you need rest, rest. If you want to walk, walk. Nobody controls your pace but you. Closing thought for this chapter. Living alone after 65 is not about isolation. It is about living authentically. It's about finally putting yourself at the center of your own story, without guilt. Freedom in old age means waking up every morning and saying, "Today belongs to me. I will live it my way." Reason 2. Peace of mind and stress reduction. As we grow older, one of the most valuable treasures we can hold on to is not wealth, not possessions, and not even achievements, but peace of mind. Seniors who choose to live alone after 65 often discover that solitude gives them a deeper sense of calm, balance, and freedom from unnecessary stress. In fact, experts say that mental peace can add years to your life and make each day richer and more meaningful. The hidden stress of living with others, even though family and companionship are beautiful, they can sometimes bring tension, especially in old age. Imagine living with adult children who have their own opinions, habits, and arguments, or living with grandchildren who create noise and chaos when all you want is rest. Some seniors feel pressured to constantly adjust, whether it's cooking meals for others, giving up their favorite TV programs, or tolerating behaviors that irritate them. Over time, these small compromises can build up, leading to stress, fatigue, and even resentment. When you live alone, that layer of tension is removed. Your home becomes a sanctuary, where you set the energy and the rules. Silence as therapy. Doctors often talk about food and exercise for seniors, but they rarely mention the importance of silence. Yet silence is one of the most powerful healers for the aging mind and body. When you live alone, silence surrounds you. Instead of waking up to loud voices or constant requests, you open your eyes to a calm room. You hear birds outside, maybe the hum of a fan, or your own steady breath. That silence lowers blood pressure, slows the heartbeat, and relaxes the nervous system. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown that quiet environments reduce cortisol, the body's stress hormone. This means seniors who live in calmer spaces are less likely to suffer from anxiety, depression, or even memory decline. Freedom from arguments and conflicts. Every relationship has disagreements. But in old age, arguments can feel especially draining. Small conflicts, like how money should be spent, what food should be eaten, or how the home should be organized, can escalate into daily tension. By living alone, seniors remove themselves from unnecessary conflicts. They conserve emotional energy. Instead of wasting time on arguments, they invest in hobbies, health, and peace. As one elderly gentleman once said, "At this age, I don't want to fight. I want to rest my heart. Living alone gives me that peace." Space to heal emotionally. Many seniors carry emotional wounds from earlier in life, regrets, disappointments, or even heartbreak. When surrounded by constant busyness, it's hard to process these feelings. But solitude gives you the opportunity to gently heal. Living alone allows time for reflection, journaling, prayer, or meditation. Some seniors spend mornings reading spiritual texts. Others take quiet walks where thoughts slowly untangle. Over time, they find acceptance and peace. This kind of healing is vital because mental stress has a direct impact on physical health. Studies show that seniors with higher stress levels face greater risks of heart disease, insomnia, and weakened immunity. A story of Mr. Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed, 72, used to live with his son's family. Though they loved him, he always felt like a burden. The noise, the constant requests to babysit, and the feeling of being overlooked began to weigh on him. His blood pressure rose, and he developed frequent headaches. One day, he decided to rent a small place nearby. Suddenly, everything changed. He cooked simple meals, took evening walks, and spent hours in quiet reflection. Within months, his health improved, and his face looked calmer. When asked why, he said, "It's not that I don't love my family. But peace has its own medicine. Living alone gave me that gift." The psychological rewards of reduced stress. When stress melts away, seniors experience better sleep. Calm surroundings promote deeper rest. Sharper memory. Peace reduces confusion and forgetfulness. Stable mood. Less irritation and more emotional balance. Spiritual growth. Time to connect with inner values and higher purpose. Many psychologists argue that solitude after 65 is not loneliness, it's a protective shield against the world's noise, helping seniors protect their minds like one protects a precious jewel. Practical steps to create peace of mind while living alone. Keep your home decluttered. A tidy space creates inner calm. Develop a morning ritual, prayer, meditation, or simply sipping tea in silence. Limit negative input. Avoid too much news or toxic phone conversations. Surround yourself with small joys, plants, soft music, sunlight. Respect your energy or say no to unnecessary obligations.
Closing reflection after 65, peace is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. Seniors who live alone often discover that true happiness does not come from constant company, but from a calm heart and a quiet mind. As one wise woman in her 80s once said, "Don't live alone. I live with peace, and that's better than any company." Reason 3. Better health and self-care in solitude. One of the most overlooked advantages of living alone after 65 is the improvement in personal health and self-care. Many seniors assume that being around others automatically guarantees better health, but research and real-life experiences show the opposite. Solitude often allows older adults to focus more deeply on their own physical well-being, dietary needs, and medical routines without distractions or pressures. Eating according to your body's needs. When seniors live with others, whether children, grandchildren, or even a spouse, mealtimes often become a compromise. You eat what the family wants, even if it's too oily, too salty, or too spicy for your health. Many elderly individuals end up consuming foods that worsen conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or joint pain. But when you live alone, you are in full control of your diet. You can prepare meals that match your health condition. Lighter soups, steamed vegetables, whole grains, or herbal teas. You can reduce sugar, avoid fried foods, and experiment with healthier recipes without feeling judged or pressured. This independence leads to better digestion, stronger immunity, and stable energy levels. A senior in her 70s once said, "After my children moved out, I stopped cooking heavy meals. I started eating lighter, and I felt 10 years younger. My doctor said my blood pressure improved just because I was finally eating for myself." Consistency in medication and health routines. When the house is noisy and schedules are unpredictable, it's easy to forget important things, like taking medications on time, checking blood sugar, or going for regular walks. Living alone removes many of these interruptions. Seniors create their own rhythm, taking pills at the same hour every day, drinking enough water without someone distracting them, keeping a regular sleep schedule, doing light stretches or yoga in peace. Medical studies show that seniors who live alone and stay disciplined with their health routines often manage chronic conditions better than those who live in chaotic, noisy households. Freedom to move at your own pace. Health is not just about medicine, it's about movement. When living with others, seniors sometimes feel embarrassed or discouraged from exercising. Some may hear, "For this, sit down, you'll get hurt." Or worse, they may feel guilty for taking time away from family duties. But when living alone, there's no guilt. Seniors can walk in the morning, stretch in the afternoon, or dance slowly to old songs in the evening. This freedom to move without judgment promotes joint flexibility, heart health, and even happiness hormones like endorphins. Listening to your body without noise. In solitude, you become more aware of your body. You notice the small signals, a little stiffness in the knee, a slight flutter in the chest, a sudden change in appetite. When surrounded by others' noise, these whispers often get ignored. But living alone allows seniors to listen carefully and seek medical advice early. Many serious illnesses can be managed better if caught in their earliest stages. Solitude sharpens that self-awareness. A story of Maria, age 69. Maria lived with her daughter's family for many years. Between helping with the grandchildren and managing household chores, she rarely had time to care for herself. Her arthritis worsened, and she often skipped her medications. Finally, she decided to move into a small apartment. Within months, she created a routine: light morning yoga, a balanced breakfast, and regular doctor checkups. She even joined a senior walking club in the evenings. Her arthritis pain reduced significantly. Maria said, "It wasn't that my family didn't love me. It was that I didn't love myself enough while living for everyone else. Living alone reminded me that my health matters too. The the psychological boost of self-care. Taking care of your health isn't only physical, it's deeply psychological. Seniors who live alone and focus on self-care report higher self-esteem. Why? Because every small act of health, drinking water, cooking a nutritious meal, stretching, or taking medicine on time, sends a message to the brain. Practical tips for better health in solitude. Set reminders. Use alarms or sticky notes for medications and meals. Create a personal health corner. Keep vitamins, medical devices, and water easily accessible. Plan simple meals. Focus on nutrition over complexity. Stay active indoors. Even light stretches or chair yoga daily make a difference. Monitor your vitals. Keep track of blood pressure, sugar, or weight changes regularly. Closing reflection. Living alone after 65 doesn't mean neglect. On the contrary, it often means finally giving yourself the care you've postponed for decades. It's a season where health is no longer sacrificed for others, but prioritized for yourself.